Nick, sorry to bother you, but I have a favor to ask. I know you're at work, but it's important.
What is it? You know I can't talk when I'm at work.
Sorry. It's just that I suddenly have a customer coming in at 4:30 today. They're getting the full treatment. Cut, color, and perm. So I'm going to be late getting out, for sure. But it's good money, so I just couldn't say no. Anyway, can you pick Amy up after school for me today?
Huh? That's really a pain in the neck. Why are you asking me? You know what my situation is at work.
Oh, please help me out. Just this once. Just for today, okay? It's a one-time thing, I promise.
Ugh. What time do you need me to pick her up?
She gets out of her after-school activities at 6, so you need to be there by around that time.
That early? I can't get there that early. I can never get out of work that early. You know that. That's just not doable. And I really shouldn't need to tell you that.
Is it really that hard for you to get out? Just this once? It'd really help out.
What about you? You can't get out earlier? You said your customer is coming at 4:30, right? Does it really take 2 hours to do their hair? If you get done with them quickly, you should be able to get out of there by 6, shouldn't you?
I can't go anywhere until the perm is done setting and I clean up and lock everything up here at the shop. You should know that. Even if I hurry with everything and the customer isn't a big talker, there's no way I'll be able to get out of here before 6:15 or so.
Hey, Amy has a key and she can let herself in. She's getting to the age now that she should be able to be at home by herself. Let's just let her go home by herself for a change. It'll be a growing experience for her.
No! Now isn't the time for that kind of change. The problem with that is that lately there have been some reports of suspicious people hanging around her school in the neighborhood. The school actually sent out an email to all parents about it and asked us to be aware and not let the kids go to and from school by themselves until they give us an update on the situation.
Oh, come on. That's no big deal. The school is always extra cautious and alarmist about stuff like that because they want to avoid a lawsuit if something happens. Anyway, this time of year it's light out until at least 7. It's not like she's going to be coming home in the dark or something. And there are plenty of people around on her way home, so she's not going to be all alone either.
Well, that's true, but it's still not something I want to take any unnecessary chances with, you know? Doesn't it worry you? Not even a little?
Nah, she's a big girl now, already in elementary school. Don't be one of those overprotective helicopter parents, okay? If you do that, she'll always be looking for us for everything, and she'll never learn to stand on her own 2 feet. We don't want that, do we?
I know. I just think that we need to plan ahead for a big change like having her start coming home from school alone. We shouldn't just suddenly have her do it because neither of us can be there for her. That's not the right way to do it. It worries me.
Look, I can pretty much never get out of work early, and you know this. So don't ask me to do this again, okay? We shouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Things are really busy here, and I can't have you interrupting my work for stuff like this, okay? I'll get in trouble with my boss, and we don't want that. Understand?
Okay, sorry. I'll figure something out and get her home somehow. I know you're busy, and I won't bother you again. See you at home later.
What is it now? This better be an emergency. I told you not to keep calling me at work, didn't I? We just had this conversation a couple of days ago. I won't answer if you do, just like I didn't right now. Understand?
Oh, are you working at home now? When did you start that? I didn't know your company allowed people to do that. And how long have you been at home today? Open the door for me and our daughter, please. I know you're here and I can hear your voice from outside, you know. Open up right now! Don't try to pretend you're not here.
Wait, you're here? At the front door? You came home? Why?
That's right. I've been out here listening for a while.
What about work? Why aren't you at the salon like you're supposed to be?
I left work early today because our daughter needed me.
Huh? Why? What's going on?
I got a call from Amy's school this morning. She had an accident during gym class. She hit her face on the horizontal bars, apparently.
What? Is she okay? Is she hurt?
Her front tooth is chipped, but that's all. We should both be thankful that it wasn't worse. I already took her to the dentist and they pulled what was left of the tooth. The good news is that it was a baby tooth, so there's nothing to worry about. The other tooth will grow in and she'll just be really cute until then.
Wow. You need to let me know right away when stuff like this happens.
You're always telling me not to bother you at work. You need to make up your mind about what you want. How many times have you gotten angry with me and told me not to call you at work? That's why I didn't call you about this.
But this is different. I mean, our child was injured. You should have contacted me before you came back home.
What are you even talking about? You're making no sense at all. You weren't worried at all when Amy got sick before. Remember when she had that really high fever and she was in the hospital for a few days? Well, what happened today isn't that different from that, and just like before, you got mad at me for calling you. You told me not to bother you at work anymore. Those were your exact words just now. Anyway, why are you at home now? I know you're not working from home, so don't try to tell me that.
I'm feeling under the weather today, so I came home early. Better to rest and get over this quick than to let it linger and maybe have people at the office catch it from me. I've got a headache and I'm just feeling pretty spaced out and tired.
Oh, is that so? That's interesting, because I had Amy go around back and have a look when I found the door was locked. She told me that she heard what she called a weird voice inside, so I went and had a listen and I could hear it too. And yeah, it was definitely a weird voice, in more ways than one.
A weird voice? What do you mean?
Oh, I think you know what I mean. It was the voice of someone who was right in the middle of something. The middle of something very private.
What? No way! Please tell me you and Amy didn't hear us.
Yeah. I also heard you two talking afterwards. I told Amy to go back to the front so she wouldn't hear any more of it. It really sounded like things were getting pretty crazy in there.
But did you hear what was being said? Did you hear the actual conversation?
Not all of it. It was hard to make the words out that the other voice was saying.
Okay, I see.
But I clearly heard what you were saying. I heard that half of the conversation loud and clear. It was stuff like, "You're such a good girl," and "You like it rough, don't you?"
Oh, enough already. I know what I said, thanks.
And, "Purr for me, my sweet little kitten." And, "I'll take you to heaven." All I can say is that it was pretty embarrassing to hear all of that.
I said enough already.
I mean, my sweet little kitten? Really? Who are you, anyway? I've never heard you talk like that in all the time we've been together. I guess there are actually some women who get excited by that kind of cheesy dialogue, huh? I thought that was strictly in the movies. And you brought her into our home. How could you possibly think that was okay? Don't do that again. Ever. Understand?
Did Amy hear all that too?
She heard enough to have questions, unfortunately. She wanted to know what Daddy was doing inside. I didn't know what to tell her, and I still don't. You're going to have to be the one who comes up with some explanation for her about all that. It's not my responsibility to make excuses for you.
I don't have to tell her anything about it, and neither do you. We'll just gloss over it and move on.
At any rate, I don't need to know what you were doing, and Amy sure doesn't. Just unlock the door and come out right now. I'm serious, Nick.
I thought I closed all the doors and windows. Why were you two able to hear us anyway?
You missed that little window near the back door. It's close to the bedroom, so...
Really?
Yeah. And you and whoever that was were just too loud and the sound carried outside here. I mean, how crazy were you two getting? You must have been pretty out of hand. You should have told her that you need to keep your voices down. What should I call her? How about Homewrecker? Or Trollop? How about Hussy?
No. None of those are really appropriate. She's a nice girl, I assure you.
Oh, yes, of course. Because nice girls always sleep with married men in the beds that they share with their wives. Fine. Then tell me her full name and I'll call her by that. That's fair. Face it, I'm going to find out anyway, so you might as well just tell me now. Come on, spit it out, you lying scumbag.
Whoa. What's with the sudden change in tone? That's not like you, talking so rough to me like this. What's gotten into you?
Oh, so sorry to have offended your delicate sensibilities. I'll just talk like a little girl with you. Do you like that better? Does that suit you better? See? This is what happens when I'm so angry that I think I'm going to explode. I start talking and thinking like I used to in the old days.
The old days? What do you mean? Before you and I met?
You see, back in the day, I used to be a bit of a punk and a wild child. I bet you didn't know that, did you? I chalk it up to the folly of youth. You know how that is.
A wild child? What do you mean?
I mean, I was a punk and a troublemaker. I got into all kinds of trouble with the police and other assorted authority figures. I cut all that stuff out once I graduated high school, but it still comes out sometimes, even now.
I never knew about any of that. You never told me about it. Why not?
Yeah, well, I don't talk about it much, and I've kept quiet about it for a long time now. All my friends from that era have rehabilitated themselves too. Most of them, anyway. One of them even went to med school and is now a doctor. Can you believe that?
I had no idea you were such a troublemaker. And with a police record, even. It's disappointing, to be honest. I thought I knew you.
Wow. That's actually supposed to be my line. I can say the same thing about you. Except with you, it's right now that I'm talking about. And with me, it's 20 years ago that we're talking about. I really never would have thought that you were the kind of guy who would bring another woman into our house. Into our bed. My troublemaking punk days are behind me, and they have been for a long time. Your cheating days are going on right this very moment, and I don't hear you saying that you're sorry or that it won't happen again. You're by far the bigger disappointment. It's no contest at all, and you know it.
But this is all just me temporarily losing my way, honey. I'm not perfect, you know. Nobody is. It's just fun and games, and it doesn't mean anything at all, I promise. It's just a fling.
Even if that's true, it doesn't change the fact that you're right in the middle of cheating on me. You need to tell me what's going on between you and her, and you need to tell me everything.
Okay. We can talk about the whole thing later. I promise, okay? For now, can you just let it go, please? Let's just move on from this, okay?
Huh? Let it go? Move on? Why would we do that?
Yeah. She was pretty freaked out because you just suddenly showed up. She was actually shaking, believe it or not. So can you please just not freak her out any more than she already is? Like I said, she's a nice girl.
No, I won't let it go, and we're not just going to move on because your homewrecker has a weak stomach. The three of us need to talk right now. So open the door right now. I mean it, Nick. Stop wasting time and open the door.
If I do that, it's going to get ugly in here, for sure. I'm just trying to avoid a scene. I don't know what you're going to do if I let you in here right now. Can you promise me that you won't do anything crazy?
Look, if you don't let me in and just leave me out here like this, it's going to get ugly for sure. It's your choice. I have a very short fuse, Nick. Don't say that I didn't warn you. You're testing my patience, and there's not much of it left.
Come on now! Stop making a scene with all the yelling! All the neighbors can hear you and they're starting to come out to see what's going on. Stop this craziness.
Then open the door like I told you to. It's very simple. Open the door and I'll stop yelling. You better quit screwing around because I'm not shutting up until you both come out of there.
You're making me a prisoner in my own home. Is that what you want? Stop calling my name out like that. It's embarrassing and it's not helping or changing anything.
This is all on you. I told you that. Every action has consequences. You're the one who's making yourself a prisoner in your own home, not me. You don't answer my calls, so you're leaving me no choice other than yelling at you from outside like this.
Come on. Stop making a scene in front of our daughter. She's got to be so confused by all this. Is that what you want? She's only in elementary school, for God's sake.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not doing that at all. Don't accuse me of not looking out for her. She's over at the neighbors watching television and playing video games. So don't worry yourself about our daughter. All you need to do is come out of there and talk to me. Both of you.
If we both come out now, all the neighbors are going to get a show. Sorry, but I have no intention of airing our dirty laundry in front of all of them.
Yeah, they all did just come out of the woodwork suddenly. Imagine that. When I told some of them that you were holed up inside our house with your home wrecker, they all got very interested very quickly. Everyone loves the neighborhood scandal. I guess they all owe you for the free entertainment today.
Why are you spreading our business around? Don't do that. What's the point of doing that?
Spread it around? And who's the one doing that? Not me. Who is the one bringing some trollop into our house in the middle of the day and getting so crazy in bed that you can be heard outside? You do realize that the neighbors probably could hear you just like Amy and I could, right? I guess you never thought about that.
Hey, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has their faults and weaknesses. And it's always the people with too much time on their hands who gravitate towards this stuff like flies to manure.
We're all waiting patiently for you to bring your girlfriend out. Come on, don't be shy.
Why are you making this into such a public spectacle? It's totally uncalled for and it doesn't help the situation at all. It's just humiliating. Why are you being so petty?
Because you're doing me wrong. That's why. Is it so hard to understand?
We're doing each other wrong. This is a two-way street.
Excuse me? Are you saying that I'm to blame for this mess? Don't even try to tell me that.
I'm saying that I'm not the only one here who's to blame for me cheating on you. That's all.
What on earth are you even talking about? Don't even try to blame me for your cheating. The person cheating is the one to blame for the cheating. Period. End of sentence.
You're totally lacking as a woman and as a wife, and you always have been. You need to take better care of yourself. If you weren't so ridiculously unattractive, my eyes would never have wandered to another woman. So you see, it's not totally my fault that I've been seeing someone else.
Are you actually saying what you're saying and trying to get me angry? Because I will go there if that's what you want. And you won't like what happens there, I promise you.
I should never have married you. It was the biggest mistake of my life. Of all the women in the world, I had to marry you. Good grief. And now I find out that you used to be a punk and have a criminal record? What was I even thinking, getting hitched with a trashy girl like you?
Hey, you're the one who proposed, remember? Not me. You pursued me and you proposed to me.
Yeah, that was a real lapse in judgment, to be sure. As soon as we got married, I realized that it was a big mistake. I mean, like within the first month, I knew it was a mistake. Then we had Amy, and I thought it was impossible to go back. Our daughter is the only reason we're still together.
Oh, really? Is that so? I had no idea that's what you've been thinking about me and about this marriage this whole time. So, Amy and me, all we are is baggage to you? Is that it? Just a problem you have to deal with?
Oh, give me a break and quit making such a fuss over what's essentially just a man being a man. So just keep your trap shut about this already, woman.
Oh, so that's how it is, huh? You're telling me that I have no cause to say anything about any of this, and you talk to me like that? Fine then. If that's how you really feel and you want to go there, then let's go. But don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. I borrowed a bullhorn from the neighbors. You know, the one that Roger uses when he coaches Pee-wee football.
A bullhorn? What do you intend to do with that?
I actually recorded something special just for you. It's quite good, if I do say so myself. Because, you know, I have to have some proof of your cheating for later.
Recorded? What did you record? You mean...
You are so slow sometimes. What do you think I recorded? The birds chirping? I recorded you and the home wrecker doing your thing. That's what. It was obvious that you two were completely oblivious to me and Amy as we were listening to you. So when I saw, I heard my chance, I took it.
You lie. No way did you record us. I don't believe you. You wouldn't.
Believe it. I would. You refused to come out, so I had to resort to this. I told you, didn't I? I will go there if you force me to. And you forced me to. So here's the deal. If you don't come out, the neighbors will get to hear you and the trollop in all your glory. Won't that be fun?
Don't do it. Do not. You can't. If you do that, I'll never be able to show my face in the neighborhood ever again.
If you're that concerned about being able to show your face around here, you shouldn't have cheated on me, and you shouldn't be trying to hide from it now. The punishment fits the crime, but you're too much of a wuss to face up to it. That's your problem, not mine.
No, that's not it at all. You're twisting this all up and just being vengeful and vindictive. The punishment and the crime are completely different. You're way over the line with this, and you know it. Don't do it.
Over the line? No. When I was younger, I went over the line. And that was all the time. So I know what over the line is. I mean, if someone did me wrong, you know they got it back from me 100 times. That was the rule, and I made a lot of enemies. I'm going easy on you compared to that. Believe me. You have no idea at all what I'm capable of. But you're about to find out.
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. You've made your point. I was wrong to do what I did, and I apologize. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Please, just don't broadcast that recording to everyone. Please.
Let me think about this. What should I do? What does the situation warrant? Let's see. Just a little while ago, you told me that I'm ugly and a lousy wife.
I didn't mean all that. It was in the heat of the moment. I apologize for that, too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that you've insulted me over and over, and now my fuse is lit. I can't just leave it like this, regardless of how much you apologize or what the fallout will be. There has to be some retribution, or I won't be able to move on. I just know that I won't.
I'm sorry I said those horrible things to you. I didn't mean them, I swear. You backed me into a corner, and I said things that I don't really believe. I didn't mean any of it. None. It was my frustration talking, not me.
Oh, come on now. You've said those things because you've been thinking them all along. Lie to me if you want, but at least be honest with yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit the play button here in a minute. It needs to be done. I'll feel a little better after that, I think. Anyway, there's only one way to find out. So, hold on to your hats, folks.
You have to know that you've proved your point and won this battle already. You don't need to do this. Please, give me a break on this. Please, you win. I give up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I did send the recording to everyone in your family already anyway. I would think that in itself would be enough embarrassment for you.
Huh? You sent the recording out? To whom? To my family. What does that mean?
Yep, sure did. I sent it to your mom, your dad, and your sister. They all get to hear your cheesy dialogue, just like Amy and I did. So by all means, let's get both of our families together, listen to this recording, and talk about our divorce.
What are you doing? What are you even thinking? Having our families listening to that is even worse than having the neighbors hear it.
You think?
Of course it is. Both options are horrible.
Then let's play it for the neighbors and find out. Let's really find out which option is more embarrassing.
Just stop. Please. Please don't take this thing any further than this. I was wrong and I'm sorry. Listen, she's getting scared now too.
And what does she have to be afraid of?
She's afraid because you're threatening her. And she's afraid because you're making a scene in front of the house and saying that you're going to broadcast a recording of her.
And whose fault is all that? You're the one who won't come out and who decided to pick a fight with me. That's all on you, not me. I told you, did I not? I told you that if you wanted to go there, I will go there and you won't like what happens there.
I was wrong, okay? I get it. You're right and I'm wrong. This is all my fault. All of it. I'll keep apologizing for the rest of my life if I need to. Please, let's just end this spectacle now.
Do you understand yet? Do you understand who I am now? Are you saying that you wouldn't have cheated on me if you'd known who I am and what I'm capable of?
All I'm saying is that you scare me witless.
You talked like a real alpha male with your trollop, but you're on your knees now, aren't you?
Anyone would be after what you've done here.
What do you mean? Take it easy, sweetheart. I still have some tender, loving care for you. So don't give in just yet. So, once you come to your senses, come on out, my kitten. Not long after that, they both finally came out of the house. Nick really didn't want his private moments broadcast to the neighborhood, and I can't say that I blame him. As soon as he came out, I grabbed him by the throat and made him apologize to the neighbors for both the commotion that day and for the ruckus that the two of them had been making regularly before that. I suppose that was adding insult to injury, but it was all well-deserved and I don't regret doing it. The neighbors certainly got a show that day, and it was clear that a lot of them enjoyed it. As for the home wrecker, it was all just too much for her and she was beside herself with shame and embarrassment. I don't think I've ever seen someone sob so pitifully. Her weeping earned her no pity from me, though, and I told her that, if she didn't want to end up this way again, or worse, she'd better stay away from other girls' husbands. I wasted no time getting divorced from Nick, and I took Amy with me when I left him, of course. I also made sure not to miss out on every cent of settlement money that the cheater owed me. With the alimony and child support to pay, Nick can't afford to move out of that house, and I'm told that he comes and goes as inconspicuously as he can these days. He probably lives in mortal fear of running into the neighbors. I truly hope that his shame sticks with him for at least as long as he still lives in our old neighborhood. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like the video and follow our channel.